Today we're going to talk about Syria. We are in Syria. We're going to try to make it very quick because I know not everybody's interested. So in Syria, something has happened. A new force has come into power. These are rebels that have been fighting him for a long time. They've now taken the government. We're going to try to find out what's happening now.
We discussed all the challenges of the current and future situation, including political and economic growth in particular. The Qatari side expressed its readiness to start large-scale investments in Syria across all sectors, primarily in the energy sector, where they have a high level of expertise on the global stage, as well as investing in ports, airports, and so on. Iran's position on Syria is very clear, safeguarding Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity and allowing Syrians to determine the future of their country without foreign intervention. Iran must respect the will of the Syrian people, the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of the country. We warn it against wreaking chaos in Syria and call it to account for the consequences of recent statements. Assadi Hassan al-Shibani, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Syria, on X social network. In fact, their initial steps towards governance in the regions where they have established control look acceptable. There are no persecutions based on religious principles, and civil administration is being established. Dialogue is being established with Jordan, Oman, and Turkey.
The thrust of the sanctions would be to target the dark fleet of international ships carrying Russian oil to non-Western countries, as well as certain Russian oil exporters who have not been sanctioned until now. A major move against Russia before leaving office would bolster Biden's claims to have rallied Western allies to respond forcefully to the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. From the Washington Post publication. Group of 7 nations are exploring ways to toughen the price cap on Russian oil as they seek to better target Moscow's ability to fund its war against Ukraine, according to people familiar with the matter. From Bloomberg publication.
We adopted the 15th sanctions package against Russia. This round targets the Shadow Fleet, North Korean officials, and for the first time also Chinese firms making drones for Moscow. Our message is very clear. You cannot fuel a war in Europe and get away with it.
Dear Ukrainians, today I spoke with the President of Azerbaijan. I expressed my condolences to the President and the people of Azerbaijan. I have no doubt that the full truth about the crash of the Azerbaijan Airlines plane can be established and that Russia will not succeed in concealing anything. Now there are already partners involved who can be trusted, first of all by Azerbaijan itself. Ukraine will provide all the necessary assistance, and we call on every country to support Azerbaijan in this situation. We call on every country to put pressure on Russia to stop the lies about this crash. The same lies were told about MH17, about the Boeing shot down over the Donetsk region. In our conversation with President Aliyev, we acknowledged the heroism of the crew who managed to steer the plane onto Kazakhstan territory, saving 29 people. But tragically, there were many fatalities, and for all this, the accountability must be borne. The accountability of those who hit the plane, and those in Russia who made all this possible, that the plane was targeted. I also received intelligence report on what happened and the data we currently have. I instructed that all facts be shared with our partners. In the coming days, we will continue our communication with the leaders. Although the new year is approaching, our work does not stop. We already have a preliminary schedule for our diplomatic engagements in January, including with our American partners. Today, I also spoke with Prime Minister of Ukraine Denis Shmyhal and had a discussion with Minister of Energy German Houshenko. I heard the details of electricity imports from the European Union to Ukraine via Slovakia, about 19%. This is of the total volume. We are working with other neighbors in the EU. And I have instructed the government officials to do everything possible together with the European Commission, together with all our partners in Europe, everything possible to maintain the stability of the united European energy system and uphold European energy rules. Whatever Putin may have told Fico during his visit to the Kremlin, European rules must prevail over any individual's ties with Moscow. And one more thing. We are preparing several important personal decisions. The decrees will be announced soon. I want to thank everyone who helps. Glory to Ukraine.